Welcome to our forum, our conversation on this Friday morning. Our guest from Northwoods Community Realty in our first Friday of the month radio show. And Keith Hansey is with us this morning. We expect Jackie to join us shortly, too. Keith, good morning.
Good morning.
Whoops, I got to get you on the right one. There you go.
There we go.
Now I got you. Yep. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, Jackie's on her way in. She's running around. She's super busy, so
yeah,
I'll get us started and she'll come in.
Perfect. Before we get started, congratulations on a great volleyball year. Keith, of course, is the head coach of the girls volleyball team, and it was a great season for the ladies, and thank you for all the efforts that you put in for the kids.
Yeah, thank you also for sponsoring and broadcasting all those games. That means a lot to, and I told Alex that too. You know, all those family members, friends, fans that can't make that trip, you know, and even opposing teams that are here, they get to listen to it. We hear that feedback all the time. So I appreciate you guys sponsoring all the Tomahawk sports.
Well, it's our pleasure. But again, thank you for the efforts for the girls.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little real estate. We're into fall now, and it's a little taste of cold weather.
Yeah.
Can we recap how was spring and summer this year? Was it average, a little above average, a little below average? What do you think?
Overall, right now, we're sitting better than we were last year.
Okay.
Numbers-wise. Units and volume. So this has been a good year. Spring and summer were more steady than the year before. We had a real drop-off in July. We were looking at the numbers on Wednesday, and it's just been a steady, solid year. And that's obviously listings are still down, but we were still able to get a bunch of listings and sell them. And so we're not sitting on a ton of inventory. Nobody really is. The overall number is still down. There's still demand for properties, homes, vacant land, all that.
Yeah, looking at vacant land, we're into the deer hunting season here now a little bit with bow and gun deer hunting season at the end of the month. Any vacant land out there for hunters who'd like to get their hands on it before the end of the month? Yeah.
Yep, we do have some vacant land, hunting land out there. And this is the time of year, and it's kind of crazy when it's really nice out. And you get into October, there's some people looking for it, but when we get these cool nights and the frost and the hunting is really big, then we get more calls and people start looking for it. So
sure.
Yeah, we have some out there.
Good. And you're looking for anybody who would like to think about selling their hunting land? Yes. And give you guys a call too.
Now is a good time. I don't deer hunt anymore, so I always work during that week of Thanksgiving, and it never fails. We always have people stopping in during hunting season to look for land for next year.
For next year, yeah.
You know, whether they're hunting public land and it's just crazy busy, or if they're in a group in a big shack, say, and then they're finally just like, you know what, we want to get our own land, manage our own stuff. And so it is busy during that hunting season, believe it or not.
Getting ready.
With hunters, yeah.
Looking for next year.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's turnovers, of course, in some of the hunting camps with people getting older and the next generation maybe not interested in hunting. They're looking to sell their property, so they should give you guys a call and check in on that.
Yeah, and that's a really good time because a lot of people are there, so if they have a hunting shack, you know, they're using it, so everything's up and running, so it's a great time for us to look at it, and so we can get a good idea when we're doing a market analysis, like what does this shack all offer, you know, a buyer. So. Sure. Yeah, it's a good time, and it's one thing we do see too is, you know, these generational hunting shacks. As families get bigger, you know, they just don't support if they have, you know, grandkids and or great grandkids, and it just gets too many numbers. That's when they start to peel off, or the opposite happens: less and less hunters, and they're like, okay, we have this 80 acres and a cabin. We're just not using it. It's time to sell.
Good. Well, they can give you guys a call. What's the best way we want to mention this a couple of times. What's the best way to get a hold of you guys over at Northwoods Community Realty?
So our website is northwoodscommunityrealty.com.
Yep.
And then our phone number is 715-453-2673.
How about yours?
715-966-1032 is my cell. And that's the best way to get a hold of me.
Perfect. Good. Other things we want to talk a little bit about as Jackie arrives. I kind of feel like the road crew now, you know. And here comes Jackie Springsteen in, and she's gonna do her concert tonight in front of 100,000 people here. Hi, Jackie. Good morning.
Good morning. You guys started early too.
Well, we have important people in the studio. Yeah. We got to get going. A lot of things to talk about. How you doing, Jackie?
I'm doing good. Just had a closing in Merrill. And just got that done this morning. So
Hey, your schedule
coming
is
in hot.
You're coming in hot. That's good.
Coming in on 2 wheels in the parking lot.
Exactly. Keith and I have just been talking a little bit about an overview from the activities that went on during the spring and summer, and looking at the hunting land and things like that. Jackie, what was your perception of how things went this spring and summer? Keith had some interesting thoughts. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so this year was much better than last year for us personally. Last year, it just couldn't sell what we didn't have. And I think the biggest difference is we had agents that were, there was listings that were coming on, and there was 10 buyers for every listing. So you were just working it so hard, writing offers and not getting the property. So I think we probably have about the same amount of inventory. It's just that we have way less buyers.
Sure.
So you might have 1 or 2 offers instead of 10. So it's starting. I think we've worked through the buyer pool. I think COVID kind of created this huge demand for people wanting to, buy a second home. Market flush with some money, and they were spending it. And, we had cash buyers this year. If you have financing, you actually could get a property. Last year it was just tough. If you didn't have cash, you weren't going to get something. So
you guys see it different every year. It never is the same, is it?
It isn't. In 20 years of real estate, this is still not normal.
Right.
For me, I just look at it every day, and I'm like, how is this normal that, things are on the market 30 days or less? That was just unheard of.
Sure.
So.
The prices settling down too, Jackie? Are they kind of, centering in on what is, more believable, I guess, and maybe believable isn't the word, but more accurate than they were? I mean, people were paying, $10,000-$15,000 more than an asking price on property a number of years ago.
Yeah, so things are settling down. I think it's just inflation. If you just look at inflation, that's really, the price increase is the same as, you
everything else.
Buy something in a grocery store, you're just going to pay more money for it. And I think the biggest thing with housing is, I don't think those numbers are going to go anywhere. People are like, I'm just going to wait till the prices come down. But I don't think they will, because it's still so much more affordable to buy current than to build.
Right.
And those numbers are not going to come down. Even if there's less buyers to buy new homes or, existing homes, for you to pay a contractor, that demand in that world, they're just going to make more money because they're in such high demand. There's just not the workforce out there, to go into these trades. And, I think that's just going to continue.
Sure. And then the people who are working are probably older guys and ladies that are staying on the job a little bit longer to help out the boss. So they're probably at the top of the pay scale. So I certainly understand with the cost of everything why, new home is more. We struggle with apartments too and housing here. So, and the ones that are available are rather expensive. So I guess if you can find a nice home and get a good deal on the home maybe and find some decent financing, that's probably the best way to go, Keith.
Yeah, and interest rates are dropping down, lower, so they're not as high as they were a year ago or 2 years ago, but so that is going to help also kind of split the difference with the cost of more expensive houses. If you can finance it at a little better rate, that brings that price down and is more affordable for especially for first-time home buyers.
Sure, I think.
The rates actually dropped, pretty good, and we thought we'd see this big, uptick in interest. And the last month, it's like somebody shut a faucet off as far as, a little bit of, the buyer pool. But I think that's just election.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are. I just can't wait till after next week.
A lot of people slow down.
Be over that and
in real estate right around election time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Does it slow down a little bit too for the holidays, like from Thanksgiving on to the end of the year? Or does it? Some people, or is it just not necessarily cyclical like that?
No, not as much as like around the 4th of July. It slows down because everybody's so busy.
Right.
Same with the holidays, but it doesn't seem to drop off as much around Thanksgiving and Christmas. Obviously, Christmas.
Sure, for the couple weeks.
Area, but there's also a lot of people in the area at that time. So then, that they're looking for properties at that time.
Sure. Yeah, a lot of people come home, it seems like 4th of July and the holidays, right? I mean, Tomahawk, people that are from here come back, and then they're just looking for something, piece of land, piece of hunting land, or they're here for hunting season, from out of town, and so we do pick up that time of year. I think there's more people looking that time of year. It's hard for listings because a lot of people don't want to list during the holidays, but it's still a great time because people are definitely here
looking to buy. Jackie Leonard, Keith Hansey, our guests on our Northwoods Community Realty Show here. Our first Friday of the month program. Hard to believe we're already November 1st. Isn't that crazy? Where's the year gone?
It flies by.
You guys have some special things going on over at Northwoods Community Realty at your office. Some nice offerings that you're making to your customers.
Yeah, so we are doing, free droning on anybody that lists a property. So
explain that a little bit, please.
Yeah, so I just think it's a great way to showcase your property. I don't care if it's a house, piece of vacant land, especially. I just listed 80 acres with 2 rivers running through it, kind of in that Ogama area. And, what a great way to get pictures of that, because it's really hard to show somebody 80 acres and the trails. And a lot of times, they're just, how do you get a picture just standing at the road of a tree? Sure. I can't tell you how many listings we see and there's like a picture of a tree. I'm like, that's not really representing what's out there. And people, just want to be able to get a little more, feel of what the property is like, without having to walk the whole thing. And so I think it's a great tool, and we definitely provide that service to anybody that would be listing.
And with the technology the way it is, why not take advantage of that? And you have a young man who is really good at that.
Yeah. It's starting to be me.
Oh, it is. Oh, the young man I'm remembering is. So you're doing more of that, Jackie.
I am.
The young lady that we all know is doing more of that. Do you like that?
And I love it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I get the shot that I want, so I'm a little picky about all of my pictures and marketing. So I always like to be in control of that now. So, and then we're also offering free home warranties. If anybody has not done a home warranty, it's a great option for to provide that. The minute you list, you're covered as a seller, and you pay $0. So the whole time you're listed, you're covered. Something goes wrong with your furnace, hot water heater. Appliances are a big thing. Appliances don't last as long as they used to, unfortunately. And those are big ticket items now. You don't get a cheap appliance nowadays. So you're covered from the time that you list. And then we include that home warranty to the buyer, and they're covered for 13 months after the purchase. Anything goes wrong, appliances, furnace, hot water heater, those items are covered for a year.
Wow.
So that's great for to provide that to your buyer in case something happens.
Yeah, you hear that on cars all the time, but that's a nice benefit to have, Keith.
Yeah,
home warranty like that.
It gives the buyers a little peace of mind too. When you buy. Especially, if it's a second home or first-time home buyer, typically you're not expecting a refrigerator to break or a furnace, which you just call the home warranty company. They set up the contractors, they get over there, and they take care of it.
Boy, that gives you a little peace of mind, doesn't it? That's wonderful.
Yeah, the home warranty is a great option. And they've gotten better, and they've extended now to 13 months, and then you also have the option as a homeowner to extend that. So you could pay for it for another 13 months on your own.
Oh, okay.
When that ends. So let's say you're in your house and your furnace is making a weird noise, or hot water heaters at the end of its life, or even garage door opener. And then it pretty much protects anything inside the house. So plumbing or electrical inside the house, washer, dryer. You can extend that, and by buying that home warranty, it's still cheaper than having to buy that whole, let's say, refrigerator or microwave, whatever it could be. Yeah, so it's a good deal.
And that is on, Jackie, you'll offer that for your clients this month, huh?
Yep.
Boy, that's a nice perk. Thank you.
Yeah, so if you list this month, we'll include that seller home warranty, which, again, you're covered. And if you, as a seller, if you use that something goes wrong and they pay for that, again, you don't pay anything. I mean, like if you never sell your home, you still don't pay for that.
Right.
So the whole time you're listed, you're covered, and then then
and
it's great for the buyer in the future.
Good. Let's see. We talked a little bit about hunting land. That sounded like an attractive 80 acres that you had for somebody interested, huh? Hunting land. Wow.
I thought that would be gone, to be honest with you. I really thought that would be gone. It's a beautiful property, and it has road on both sides, on the north and south side, and the one is off a bluff road. And it is this humongous bluff, and it overlooks the land, and I think it's the east branch of the Spirit, and then there's another creek that runs through the other 40. Beautiful maple trees. I've got some great drone footage of that and all the beautiful colors. You can see exactly how many maple trees are on that property. He actually ran a sugar shack off of that property. So if somebody's interested in maple syrup making, that's a great 80 acres, and we'd be happy to help you out with that if you give us a call. Is that
nice building sites on that too, I bet, huh?
Yeah. Some really nice, there's actually a really nice cleared building site where they had taken out sand and gravel when they redid Highway Y.
Okay.
So there's actually a really beautiful cleared spot right by the river, and it might take a little bit to get power down in there, but really nice building spot.
That sounds really good. What about listings? What do you guys have? A little bit of everything? I mean, do you have some land? Do you have some medium-priced homes, higher-priced homes for folks that are listening that are thinking a little bit about real estate and want to take a look?
Yeah, I just did a price reduction today down to $50,000. It's about 2 acres on a creek further up by Phillips.
Okay.
And spot is cleared. He's got a power pole in there. So everything's all set to go. He has you can camp there. So if anybody's looking for a camping lot, that's a great deal. $50,000. Everything's all set up, ready to go with the power and everything. And you're on a creek.
Wow.
And that's very close to all that national forest up there. So even to have it as a hunting base, that's a great deal. So we're starting to see. We're getting into winter. This is the time, if a seller hasn't sold, they're starting to get a little more negotiable, and maybe they just started off a little too high. And we're starting to see some price reductions, and people are getting a little better deal right now, because, who wants to pay the next taxes for another 6 months?
Right.
They just, so you the seller can save that money and get it sold.
Keith, what do you have out there?
I've got some vacant land. I got 20 acres that I just put on last week, out off of I can't remember the road. It's out near Prentice in the town of Knox.
Okay.
Really nice hunting land. It's a mix of hardwoods. There's oaks, maples, aspens out there, fully wooded. But there is a driveway permit that was done, but they just didn't install the driveway, so it's got a fire number. It's marked out, but they just didn't get a chance to put the driveway in. And then I've got a couple. I got one closing today, so that's gone. But then another, like a mobile home on 1 acre out off Highway K.
Those are pretty popular.
Yeah.
Aren't they? Get a little land with your property.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's just a really affordable home, instead of renting or something. And eventually you'd have a lot that maybe you build your house on in the future.
Good thought. Well, great. Well, then the home that you sold up by us, those are nice neighbors that moved in. Very nice people. So did a good job on getting us good neighbors.
Well, I had to make sure, because I'd hear about it if I didn't.
You would have heard about it from a lot of people up there. Really nice people. It's hard to believe. Here we are, the 1st of November. We're going to be talking about the venison feed. We're already looking for venison for the feed. And I know, Jackie, you're always one of the sponsors of the feed. That's a good time downtown on the 22nd of November.
I just love that. I love volunteering for that, and Keith has done the grill for many, many years, and it's just a very fun event, and what unique to Tomahawk, I mean, that's just the start of it. It just feels like you're welcoming all the hunters into town, and getting a chance to reconnect with people that we sold to, and love volunteering for that event.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your sponsorship of of venison feet. Coming up on the 22nd for our listeners, and serving starts at 11:30. And make sure you go to the Keith Grill, the JJQ Grill, because
right.
the burgers are good over there. And thank you for the sponsorship of that. You know, with the weather turning a little bit here, I know you like to talk about a couple of important things this time of year, and that is making sure everything is winterized, ready to go, because once the cold comes, it probably will stay, unlike last year.
Right. And I just had this conversation in my closing this morning because they purchased a country home, never had to deal with an LP tank ever. And they're like, oh, there was 50% left in the LP tank. And they're like, do you think we'll go through that? And I'm like,
a couple of times.
Yes.
Well, yes, I think you will.
Yeah.
So I would say an average house, you know, if you have a 500-gallon tank, you're probably going to fill twice at least.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I tell this story all the time, and I told it this morning. You know, my neighbors that were from Texas, that I sold their home, and it's closing day, and I always give my speech about, you know, you do the autofill so you don't run out of LP. I can't tell you how many sellers or buyers that call us and, oh, I ran out of gas, you know. So you don't want to run out, because if you're not there and you run out, your house is going to freeze. And if you're there and you run out, you're not going to have any heat.
Right.
Either way,
Right. Yeah.
not a good situation. So I always tell people, if you're not familiar, please do the autofill and just be prepared, you know, to make sure that, or, you know, you need to watch it. If you think, oh, I don't want to pay the high prices and I'm going to watch the price and call when I need it, you know, just they don't come out the next day sometimes either, you know, or road limits are on or something happens, snowstorm. You just need to be prepared for that. And then we just want to make sure that people are remembering, if you bought a second home, or, you know, they're not here and they don't realize how cold it is this morning, it's time to turn the heat on.
Right.
You know, get to your property, turn the heat on if that's the route you're going, or if now's the time to get it winterized before winter. And I always tell people, always make sure you turn your pump off when you leave, no matter if it's, you know, you're just leaving for a couple weeks. I would always shut that pump off when you leave.
Yeah.
And then another thing with the LP, I've seen where, like the digital thermostats, they run off a battery.
Right.
And I've seen those batteries go dead, and then your furnace doesn't come on. You have plenty of LP, but if the thermostat's not telling that furnace to go on, so, you know, like daylight savings, a good time to change your smoke alarm batteries, also change your thermostat batteries.
Yeah. That's something that we take for granted who live here all the time, but somebody new to the area may not even think of.
Right.
Know. Sure. Good. Very important points. What else? We have a couple of minutes left. Anything else that we're missing, Jackie, that you want to touch on here this morning? Jackie Leonard and Keith Hansey, our guests today on our Northwoods Community Realty Friday morning show here. What are we missing?
We have a winner.
We have a winner.
A pumpkin.
And thank you for all the pumpkins.
Yeah.
That was really nice of you guys to give away those pumpkins. They went quickly, didn't they?
We actually had some left this year. It was rainy.
Yeah, I know, it was a crummy day.
I think it was a crummy day, and we actually had some left. And I was worried because this was not a good year for pumpkins. So I go down and I do an auction to go get the pumpkins, and it wasn't a great year. I got there, and there was hardly any pumpkins. And I even went a week early. And I guess too much rain. They didn't pollinate. You know, all kinds of problems with the rain early spring. It just was not good for pumpkins or pickles, because I bought some pickles.
Thank you.
It's very expensive pickle year for my husband. But you know, if just watch next year, we have the pumpkin giveaway. It's always probably the second or third weekend in October, depending on when I go for the auction. But we give away those pumpkins, and then we do a pumpkin giveaway. And you don't even have to be good at carving your pumpkin. All you have to do is hashtag us and post it on our Facebook page, and you will be entered for a $100 drawing. And Sierra Dakota is the winner. She had a picture, some awesome pumpkins, and she had three pumpkins that she had decorated. They looked great. We had 3 entries, so your chances of winning this are really, really good. So next year, put it on your calendar. You don't even have to have one of my pumpkins. It doesn't matter. Just post a picture of you and your pumpkin and hashtag us on Facebook, and you have a chance to win $100.
Well, congratulations to our lucky winner. That's wonderful, Jackie. Thank you. Good. Well, look forward to visiting with you coming up in December and to see everybody at the Venison Feed coming up on the 22nd of November. Thank you guys for being here this morning.
Yes, thanks for having us. And we're putting our display together, too, for the hometown Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be good.
Is it?
Every year we build a good one.
That is so much fun. Now, that's, is it 13th?
13th.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, we're already starting. It's Friday the 13th, right? So, we've already started.
Got a good theme.
That is a great event. That is such a fun event. Get a beautiful night, walk around, see everything. It is just great. Yeah. Yep. So we'll look forward to seeing you guys.
Yes, we already started.
Good. Good. We'll look forward to it. Thank you, Jackie, Keith. Thank you for being our guest this morning. Northwoods Community Realty. Jackie, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, come and stop and see us. We're right on the main drag, just north of Tomahawk off of 4th Street, and it's 453-2673 is our number, or you can see us on the web anytime, northwoodscr.com.
Perfect. Thank you guys very much. Enjoy the weekend.
All right. Thanks, Greg.
All right. Jackie and Keith, our guests from Northwoods Community Realty, our first Friday of the month radio show here. NorthwoodsCommunityRealty.com. On the website, you can call the office at 453-2673.